Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crash Talk. I'm Killer Cam. With me always is Jared. Ladies and gentlemen, hello.
Welcome back.
So I'll tell you what, man. I'm a level with you.
Okay.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I worked all night,
Yeah.
and I'm just dead.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, but we got some good topics. You know, we gotta talk to the world, man. We gotta tell them about some of this stuff. So
well, it's Crash Talk, so it's okay
Talk,
that you're a little
baby.
tired because we're gonna just talk about things that are going on.
That's it. We're talking
Stuff
about the world,
that piqued our interest during the week. I mean, so that's what the show is.
Does this pique your interest?
Cool, man. Those look
fucking
great.
Wicked.
Yeah. I like those.
Early Christmas gift.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, first off, something we've discussed on this channel before, on Crash Talk before even, Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Actually, Disney's.
Why is anyone talking about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
Yeah, so it's not even the Snow White and the Seven. So Disney's Snow White.
Yeah.
The
new one they're making. Okay.
Yeah, Disney's new Snow White remake that they're doing with Rachel Ziegler is getting a lot of backlash because it didn't have dwarves in it, right?
Right.
So
I remember you saying this.
Yeah, so they're pivoting
again.
Okay. And they're adding dwarves.
Oh.
Because remember, we were saying that would have been so cool to give like 12, 9, 7, and the 7 dwarves?
7, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been cool to give 7 dope dwarf actors the role of their lifetime, or at least a sick role, right? Mm-hmm. But, so yeah, they pivoted, so now they have dwarves.
Okay, so people gave enough pressure to where they're like, okay, now we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not the creative process. It has nothing to do with what was best for the film. It has nothing to do with an original vision.
No.
It's just them taking cultural pressure and saying, okay, we'll change
and
a
replying
film
to it.
now.
Yeah.
It should have been that way from the beginning. We get it. But yeah, that sucks.
So now, 7 dwarf actors, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think they're going to cast for one of these dwarves?
I don't know. I barely know any actors' names, let alone a specific community of actors.
Well, the only issue is they pivoted and they are doing dwarves now.
Yeah.
The only problem is...
Dude, the guy from... you don't watch the show.
Never
The
mind.
Witcher. He's so great.
Yeah.
But...
So, they pivoted. They're doing dwarves. Only problem is the dwarves are CG.
Oh, so they're not hiring people for it?
No, because they're CG dwarves and they look freaking ridiculous.
Wasn't there just like a whole strike just to make sure they didn't do stuff like this? Like, wasn't this something that they brought up? Like,
Was it?
Hey, don't replace like real actors with
CG
AI
what the strike was for. Yeah. Literally saying, please don't do this.
Right. So
Disney. Yeah.
they're like, haha, AI can't pick it.
Check this out.
Damn.
Check this out. You want to get thrown for a loop?
We've been granted the initial, official glimpse of Disney's forthcoming live-action adaptation of Snow White. In this sneak peek,
Who's on the
we
left?
see
Is
the
that Wonder
dwarves,
Woman?
who have undergone a creative transformation
She's the
through
queen.
the application of
Awesome.
computer animation.
Look at
Disney
this.
presented this first image, along with the announcement
Look
of a
at
slight
this.
delay, pushing
Is
the
this
release
madness?
date to
Yeah,
March
dude,
21st,
that's really bad.
2025.
Jared, that's real.
Furthermore, we're introduced to
That's
our
real.
first official
Yeah, they'll
look at
clean it
Rachel
up, I'm
Zegler
sure,
in
but
the
that
role of the
sucks.
Look at
titular
Alfred E.
princess.
Newman over there.
Joining her are the beloved dwarf characters, Bashful, Doc, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and
This
Sneezy.
is like...
Upon closer inspection,
Wacky.
It's
some
like
might
Polar
notice
Express.
a touch of the uncanny valley effect in the
That's what
dwarves'
he mentioned to
appearances.
me. It's Alfred E.
evident
Newman.
that deliberate
That's scary.
efforts have been made to capture the animated charm of the original 1937 characters.
How did
Rumors
they
have
do it
swirled the
in
internet
Lord
about
of the
Disney
Rings?
potentially casting
The new
non-dwarf
ones. What is it? So the
The Hobbit.
Hobbit. How did they do it in The Hobbit where
They
it
had
was...
normal-sized actors,
Oh,
and
those
they put
weren't dwarf actors.
No, they
Okay.
had normal-sized actors that they put prosthetics on.
Got it.
And then
So they played dwarves. They just changed the look of them and stuff. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Well, is that a better choice? Are you happier now that there's dwarves in it?
Isn't that funny? The point was to give some cool dwarf actors a awesome job at a huge Disney remake, right?
Right.
But instead, they're going the CG route. So it's
Well,
like the
you were
cheapest
mad
thing.
about them changing the premise too. You were mad that they weren't sticking to the original storyline. That you
Yeah.
were there is 7 dwarfs. It's Snow
Yeah.
White and the 7 dwarfs. Literally is like
yeah.
the title.
Yep.
and changing it to 7 wacky characters.
They call them
ruins
magical
the-
creatures, 7 magical
Right.
creatures.
So
I prefer wacky characters.
even though they did that, they gave us dwarves now to be more true to the original story. You're still not happy with it because they're not real people.
And not only are they not real dwarf actors, which could have been so cool, and you see these great performances, like, yeah, that could have been awesome. Not only is it not that, it's also just the worst CG I've ever seen ever.
Look, this is early though, release, right? So maybe by the time the movie comes out, they'll have it all dialed
If you're
in.
Disney, are you
This is
going to release a
post-production stuff.
picture that is like way far from your vision?
Not way far, but usually like even Marvel trailers, what you see the CG gets way enhanced by the time the film comes out. There's like all this new detail in the armor or the characters. You know what I mean? They
No,
add a
they're
lot to
usually
it. No, they're not fully
pretty
baked.
solid.
Trailers aren't fully baked. They have a lot of CG that they increase the detail on or make even better by the time the film comes out.
Because I know
I know
Marvel
that's
would
something.
even fake CG stuff, like Hulk running in Infinity
Yeah.
War was fake.
Well, that was an original one of the original ideas that they actually did have the Hulk show up, and it was just
Bust
a scene
out of
that
the
was
armor.
cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had so that was a real scene.
Yeah, but
their
by the
CG
time the
stuff
promotional
that's
footage
changed.
came out, that wasn't a scene. They knew they weren't going that route.
I just know trailers have lower CG than the final.
But dude, there's a difference between lower CG and like or worse CG,
Yeah.
and whatever that is, that is
Yeah,
like
it doesn't look very good.
it like they're supposed to be interacting with real people. That's
Yeah.
going to be so silly looking.
But have we seen this before? Yeah, like in let's
In
use
what?
Lord of the Rings again. So the creature Gollum, Rocket Raccoon.
Dude,
so
you're
we
talking
see
about some of the-
people engage with.
Oh, no, I'm not
with
talking
fake
about-
characters,
yeah.
CG characters.
Dude, you just named 2 of the greatest examples of the most realistic creatures ever to be put on screen.
Yeah, but they're not real people. They're not. It's a guy in a suit.
Oh,
and-
I'm not saying actors acting with fake characters. I'm saying actors acting opposite something that looks like that.
You so the quality's bad too.
That's
is
all
what
I'm
you're
saying is the
Okay.
quality is horrible. That's all I'm talking about.
Oh well, shoot. Well, it doesn't like. Is this a film that you're really excited about? And
No,
then
I
now
couldn't-
you're all
I couldn't-
mad.
I couldn't care
It's
less.
not gonna
No,
be
no.
good. Exactly.
I couldn't care less.
Who cared? But it is funny that they bent to like public pressure and
yeah.
changed the entire film because of it.
Well, yeah, because
They seem
their
to be doing
idea
that.
was so stupid. Instead of doing dwarves, they're like, "Oh, let's get diverse characters," and that's their whole thing. And that's what South Park totally reamed them for.
Yeah,
South Park bamboozle. What's it called?
bamboozled's fun.
No, but what's it called when you?
I don't know. Called them out. Like,
Anyway,
Yeah,
they
I
wrecked
don't know.
them. Anyway, South
Okay.
Park wrecked Disney, and then so Disney's not like, "Oh yeah, shit. Let me."
That's funny. Yeah, that's an example of them doing exactly what they're being made fun of for doing is taking cultural pressure and then making content based on what they think people are going to want to see, and instead of just making a product and then letting the world decide if they like it or not. That sucks. That's not the way to do it. You had a Rick Rubin quote a couple episodes ago where you said
Last
Rick Rubin
episode.
said make content that you want, that you would like for you and maybe a couple
Don't
of your
make
friends.
content for your audience.
You're not trying to make it for a specific audience. That's never going to work. And I think that's a great
so true.
quote.
It's
Yeah,
so
when it
true.
comes to the creative process, make the movie you want to make, and then let the world decide if it's good or not. Let the world decide if they like it.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, all these voices before a film's even done, affecting how you make it. That's annoying.
That's
But
the
shouldn't be
madness
part of the process.
though. Oh no, for sure.
They shouldn't be. They're not in the room. Let the writers do their job. Let the creatives do their job. Then the world will decide if it was good or not.
I know it's
Not ahead of time.
it's studio heads that are saying no. This is what we need to be doing.
They never
You
make
don't
good
know
decisions.
anything. Yeah, you've never made a good choice ever. Yeah.
And listen to any artist talk about, even in the music industry,
yeah.
they played them an album and they said, this is going to be your single. And the artist is always like, what? That's not the single. It's this or vice versa, right?
Well, I
They
have
don't-
heard that where they're like, "This is the single," and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even like that song," and then
That song's terrible.
It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or then it's a big song like Fall Out Boy, like "Oh, Sugar We're Going Down." That's not our single, and
Right.
Like, oh, this is the single. Trust me.
Yeah, but it wouldn't
it's a
be.
banger.
But this is their industry, right? They're taking the advice of a potential audience. You're not even an audience member, and you're weighing in on whether or not they should have real dwarves or dwarves at all in the movie. and you're never even going to see it. It
Nope,
sounds like
I'm not gonna
So
see it.
your opinion on this shouldn't matter to them, but it does. They're taking all of these people's opinions. Half of the people aren't going to watch the movie. The other half are just joining the conversation to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So it's stupid. Let the creatives do their job, and you'll get better products.
So I'm joining. So I'm the half that's just joining the conversation to be a part of it. Apparently.
Really? Because
Well, you
don't
said there's
care
only
at all.
two. You said the people who aren't going to see it.
Yeah. And then
guess
people
that's
the people that are that they're pandering to. There's like these two sides.
Yes,
and
but
most of them aren't even
It's
gonna
so crazy
watch
because
the film.
nobody would care. Like if they just started with the Seven Dwarves,
Yeah.
nobody would have cared. It would be like, all right, anyway, only Peter
Yeah.
Dinklage had a problem, and then but of course people are going to care when you're replacing specific things. It's not like Snow White and her 7 friends. It's very specific. Snow White and the 7 dwarves.
It's a story.
And you're gonna replace dwarves with magical creatures who are just all different ethnicities and diversities and heights and weights and sizes. It's like that's pandering,
and they were
that's
doing it for that
bullshit.
reason. It wasn't that the
It's to
problem?
pander. It's
it
to
was
pander.
a
It's not
diversity.
creative
Okay.
choices.
Yeah.
It's not It's not this is what's best for a new age Snow White.
Oh.
Yeah, and Rachel Ziegler actually, and then we can get off this crazy topic. But Rachel Ziegler actually went on and they tried to do damage control. She went on and did a Vanity Fair. She did a Vanity Fair like interview thing.
Okay.
With Halle Berry. What's her name? The girl who played Ariel in the new one. Halle Bailey.
Okay.
Halle Bailey, I think is her name. So she went on an interview, and it's those two on like Vanity Fair, and they're talking, and they're like, "Yeah, the backlash, you just gotta ignore it and stuff." And it's funny because it's total like trickery what they're doing.
Okay.
And here's why I say that is so they have Halle Bailey, right?
Yeah.
Who portrayed Ariel, got a bunch of backlash because you're taking a white character and you're casting a black actress. So there's a bunch of backlash. They're taking her and making this false equivalency to her and Rachel Ziegler, who also got backlash because she's darker skinned. She's Snow White, but she's a Latina.
Right. Gotcha.
But
Okay.
that wasn't the issue. That wasn't the main issue. People were like, but they got over it just like they did with Little Mermaid.
That's fine. Yeah.
What was the main issue with Ziegler? It was her comments. It was her
What she was
talking
saying
shit on the
about
source
the film.
material.
Yeah.
Saying about her co-star, the prince. He could be cut out. And we for all we know, all of Adam's scenes, whatever his name is, all of his scenes might be cut out. This is Hollywood, baby. Just so she brash and trying to act like she's smarter than
that's
everybody.
why people didn't like her. It wasn't. It had nothing to do with her ethnicity.
Doesn't care
at all.
that no one cares that you're fucking Latina. You're annoying. You're a know-it-all and you're brash and you're coming in like talking shit on this huge opportunity. Oh yeah, I watched it once when I was like a kid and it was like so weird. He's sort of like a stalker. Weird.
Some actors are bad at
She's
doing
so fucking
interviews.
annoying.
Yeah, they're just not good
When
at
she
it.
does that, she's like, and she falls in love with like her stalker. I don't know. It was made in 1935. It's pretty outdated. It's weird.
Yikes.
I'm like, she just annoys the shit out of me. So they try to make this false equivalency, and you see her on that couch versus her, like in the previous interviews. It was night and day. She's like very calm, and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, what's up, Tina? Happy Thursday."
Happy Thursday.
She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, no, it's quite a triumph when," and like totally calm instead of like the girl who's saying, yeah, this is Hollywood, baby. They might cut out the guy entirely. This ain't
told her,
1935 no
tone it
more.
down. You got to tone it down.
And
People
so
aren't
they
liking
told her,
it. Yeah.
hey, yeah, nobody likes you. So fuck that, dude. You know what?
That sucks.
Okay, Disney, whatever, bro. Snow White, like you said, I'm not even going to see the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Tell me about some UAPs, dude. Tell me about
Yeah.
David Grush, you were saying.
Yep.
What does he have to say? He's been. I haven't heard a lot from Grush lately. Has he been like not
No,
doing as
so
much?
so there's this pre-publication process that anybody with a security clearance has to go through before they can go public with anything, right? They have to go to this.
They have to what?
It's called a DOPSR. There's a pre-publication security review of whatever information you're going to talk about.
Okay.
It has to make sure that you're not giving up anything current that's top secret that will put a project in jeopardy or give away secrets that could help our enemies, right?
Okay.
So there's specific names you can't use, specific project names you can't use, stuff like that. So that you have to tell them everything you're going to say Otherwise, they can prosecute you, jail you, right? So in his original DOPS, or his original request, he had a few things in there.
Why is it called a DOPSR? Do we know?
That's what it's called, a DoD pre-publication security
Oh,
review.
it's an acronym.
It's an acronym, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Department of Defense pre-publication security
DOPS.
review. DOPS.
DODS.
The second D isn't really part of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why I can't. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So
Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway. So this DOPSR process that he goes through, there were some things that they and here's the thing with that process. If they tell you a certain agency has to go through what you're going to say, and they have to redline it and say, we don't want him to say this. This is why.
So that they have an entire list of like things they're gonna topics, bullet points.
I'm going to say that I know about a UAP program that exists for reverse engineering, right? So if someone has an issue with that...
When do you submit this paper?
Before you can say anything to anybody. You cannot write a book. You can't do an interview. You can't...
This is as a whistleblower?
This is the legal way to do it as a whistleblower.
When you're becoming a whistleblower.
Yeah, exactly.
So you do this
DOPSR process, yeah.
Okay, that's where they vet.
Yep.
And so you could say, so I'm going to talk about how... I saw an alien getting dissected on Thursday.
Right.
And they'll be like, no, you can't talk about that.
Department of Pre-Publication Security Review, DOPSR. There is no second D. DOPSR. Department of Pre-Publication. Yeah, so DOPSR.
Okay.
Anyway, so before he can say anything, he had to go through the DOPSR process. Then he was able to, so here's the thing though. By redlining, so let's say the CIA has an issue with you saying something specific.
Yeah.
They have to say why they have an issue with it. So there is
does
confirmation there.
And
right?
that gets published to the world?
He can then say, I wanted to bring this forward, but the CIA said I couldn't talk about specific things. That would become something that could be FOIA at some point, or, right? So that's why he was able to say what he was able to say. But certain things he requested just got approved, and it was his firsthand knowledge. Up until this point, people have been coming after him a lot, saying he has no firsthand knowledge.
You're telling us about all this.
He did. He couldn't say he did, and that's why in his interview, or on the Hill when he did his the whole hearing, there was so many times he had to say in a skiff. I can tell in a skiff because a lot of this stuff is still classified. He can't talk about it, or he can go to jail.
What up, cat lover?
So he just got approval
to
start talking about some more things, and one of those things is his firsthand knowledge of some events.
Dude, how frustrating for him when he's like
awful.
He knows all this shit. And he has all this firsthand knowledge, and everyone's like, "You lying!"
But he's doing it the right way. That's the difference.
Why he's great.
Yeah, he's using all the whistleblower protections. He's got the former IG as his lawyer.
People are there saying, "You're a liar, and you never even saw it. You're just relaying stories and blah blah blah." Yeah,
and he has to just take it.
Oh yeah, he just has to take it, and he's been taking it on the chin since jump.
Yeah, forever.
What a stud.
There's a lot of people and we know a lot of the information. Plus, he was able to provide 40 other witnesses that have already testified behind closed doors.
So what changed? What did he come out and say?
So far, all he said was the review's done on some of these things, so I'm able to talk about them now. So he will be doing upcoming interviews. He just did Tucker Carlson. He just did another show, but he hasn't brought up any of the new information yet.
Or the Tucker Carlson
one's out. That was just like.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched some of it. I haven't finished it.
How is it?
It's great the back and forth. It's great to hear because now people are very interested in. He made a lot of comments that lives have been taken.
How was Tucker off Fox? I heard his show was good.
Yeah, it's just I never watched it on Fox.
I didn't either.
So I don't know what to compare it to. So for me,
or I watched it every day.
It's a good podcast or whatever. It's a
pod, right?
Podcast, yeah. And it's only on Twitter right now. He just announced that he has his own production company, Tucker Carlson Productions, TCP, I think it is. So he's gonna start doing a lot of his own content.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, how did he come up with that?
TCP. That's clever.
But the reason I wanted to bring Rush up, so what he did come out recently to talk about was the changes that were made to the NDAA, the Defense Authorization Act. There were things that he gave up his entire life and career to get transparency, government transparency, and this bill was supposed to do that. And a lot of the things that he really was fighting for got completely cut out. The things they cut out, the guys that cut them out didn't have to give a reason. But here's the double-edged sword on that. When you ask for something to be removed, there has to be a reason. You have a reason. Your donors have a reason. They said, make sure this doesn't come through. So everything that we saw them take out, where there's smoke now, there is fire. If there was nothing there, you wouldn't ask them to say to take something out. So that helps. That's confirmation almost. Them asking them to remove these certain items. But I have a clip here of an interview. It's a very short piece of an interview where Grush explains how this made him feel. These things being taken out of the NDAA.
Did you see that Tucker Carlson thing where he's out like fly fishing or something in New York, and this guy comes up to him and he's like, "Hey," and like Tucker could have been like, "What the? Get the camera out of my face!"
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, what you doing, man?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm a streamer." You know?
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, really?" He's like fascinated about it, or he's feigning fascination, and that's fine too. But
That's
he's like,
interesting.
"Yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, I got like 1.5 million followers." He's like, "No freaking way! That is so awesome, man!" Like he was just super cool about it.
Dude, I don't know much about Tucker Carlson until now. Recently, he's been on my radar.
Sure.
I just
Same.
never watched his show before, right?
Same.
The shows he's been on, the podcasts that he's done, the interviews he's done since Fox.
Yeah.
I have seen when he
Well,
was.
I just don't watch those news channels. I don't watch
That's what I
any
mean.
cable news.
So I didn't get it.
I'm
I
obviously not going to see it.
I haven't had cable for decades.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
It just
So I'm
wasn't
not
on my
gonna see
radar
it.
either.
Yeah.
But I've heard so many bad things about Tucker Carlson
Oh my
before
God.
I saw any interviews of him.
Oh, yeah.
And what he stood for and who he was and hate and all this.
Here's
and
what he
racism
is.
and all this stuff. Then I see him talk and I see his interviews.
Pretty reasonable guy.
Yeah, and just reasonable, normal conversations.
Yeah.
And so
Because I hear he's
I don't
this
know.
trust fund baby who married into this giant conglomerate family, just like a total
Really,
succession
I didn't
thing.
even know that.
Yeah, his wife. God dang, I wish I could. It's like Kellogg, something like crazy.
Oh, like a
that.
big dynasty.
Like dynasty.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's funny.
It's like frozen foods. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's like one of the biggest things, like Dyson type shit.
Okay.
Like one of those
Yeah.
huge things. But yeah, no, it's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, D
It's
Live, what up,
interesting
brother?
what people say about other people and what you hear their opinions of them are. You just got to listen to the guy himself.
I'm like,
and
this
make your
miserable
decision.
piece of shit. And then I actually heard him. I'm like, oh, okay, he's
Oh, wait,
he's
yeah,
a
so
fairly
far,
reasonable guy. He's
nothing-
not this extreme psychopath.
Yeah,
that I thought
and
he
the
was.
stuff that he did. So I remember stories about him coming out where he was on the wrong side of some issues. He addresses them in these interviews and says, "I was on the wrong side of this," or "I believe that I should have done this differently. I regret that I said this. I've grown and learned that this was wrong." And a lot of the things are the things that I heard that he would do
Sure,
and say.
the negatives, yeah.
And so he even addresses them.
Just
and
being able to
apologizes
admit
for
that
things he
you're
did wrong.
Just being able to admit that you're wrong is huge.
That I agree with
Not
that.
not
Yeah.
everybody can do that.
Sticking to your guns on something when you're it's weird.
Jada Pinkett Smith, she could never say, "Yeah, I was cheating on my husband. I did some foul shit." No, she had an entanglement.
That
It's fine.
sucks.
Like just people who can't. And,
It's so
you lose-
freeing to say, "Oh, I didn't know that. I was wrong," or "I
Johnson and Johnson.
totally
Thank you.
learned something new."
It's Johnson and Johnson.
Okay. Oh,
Big
that's
money.
yeah, it's hilarious.
Big money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually funny. I didn't
that
realize that.
wild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like so many different connections to so many.
I know there's so
things
much.
there.
There's
Yeah.
so much there.
Wow.
But no, once I saw that video of him talking to the guy, and the guy, it wasn't even like millions. He was like, "I have like 500,000 subscribers." He's like, "No way, that's so cool." And
So
he's-
far, he's been like totally.
So that was
normal.
cool. I thought that
Yeah.
was cool. So yeah, it's funny, perception versus reality.
Yeah.
like what you think before you actually hear somebody talk.
100%.
But that's sort of it's that instant. As soon as we hear about somebody, or you tell me,
Yeah.
"Oh, I hate this guy," now I hate him because that's all I know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do your own research on everything.
It's
all right,
true.
so let's see this. This is it, right? News Nation.
It's News Nation for sure.
Then this is
I
it.
don't remember if that's the intro of it, but yeah, I'm
sure
I
it
sent.
is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Is there
it's
a
the right
I'm
one.
here to,
Here we go.
praise and admonish. I mean,
I know that
certainly
gay.
the Senate.
There he is, Grush
Thank
himself.
you for proposing that legislation. I'm glad you got some provisions passed, but folks in the House,
He looks better with the facial hair.
Total failure. It's one of the biggest failures probably in the history of Congress.
Listen to that.
Well, now to a new exclusive interview with
One of the
UFO
biggest
whistleblower
failures
David
in the history
Grush.
of
Remember, he
Congress.
first went
He's fucking
public
wicked.
with us about claims of a UFO crash retrieval program in a News Nation
Yeah,
interview
he's gotta be
earlier this
pissed.
summer.
He gave
So
up
now
everything.
interview. You saw that there
Everything.
with our Elizabeth Vargas. He is
His
hitting
life's
back
been
at
threatened.
Congress
Yeah.
for what he calls their lack of transparency. Tom Dempsey joins us now to
Oh,
explain.
look at this
Tom,
Jim.
Yeah, I like this guy already.
Hey, good morning, Adrian. Yeah, this
We both
longtime
commented
Air
on
Force
it.
veteran David Grush calls Congress's decision to strip key portions of a measure to declassify more records about unidentified aerial phenomena as the greatest legislative failure in American history.
come
He
on.
also told News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas in an exclusive interview that he plans to release more information about what exactly he knows in the coming
Isn't that
weeks
good?
about
So that's
things
a
like
little
the government
Easter egg there.
possibly,
Yeah.
retrieving
He's alluding
an
he knows a lot
aircraft,
more.
non-human aircraft
Yeah,
of
exactly.
exotic origin, as well as the government running a possible secret crash retrieval program.
Yeah.
Take a listen.
What we're witnessing right now is, quite frankly, the greatest legislative failure in American history. You know, you had a very strong amendment for government transparency on this issue.
Okay, we got
Which we agreed, government transparency is an obvious one, right? We should have that. That's a democracy. That's the point of it, right? There should be transparency. The fact that we know there's been issues in the past of them keeping secrets that were horrific, and that we had to pull them out. Congress had to pull these secrets out of some of these agencies, put them on display, and create a process by which we can now get the FOIA process this information, because we have to be able to keep them in check as a public. We are in charge.
Swanson. That is what it is.
There we go.
I was thinking Tyson.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Dyson.
Johnson sounds
Huge.
interesting.
Yeah. There's
Based on
implications
a lot,
there. Yeah.
But man, that's an obvious one. More government transparency is a good thing, and Congress, of all people, should be the
Johnson
ones on
and
the side of this. They are the elected officials. Non-elected officials are keeping secrets from our elected
Yeah, that's
body.
fucked.
What?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No. That's the opposite of a
That's-
democracy.
Yeah.
So
so grimy.
so wild that there's any pushback, but the pushback is obvious. The people pushing back have an obvious donor list, and that's all
an
public
agenda.
information. So we know who they're trying to protect. So I thought that was interesting. Also, in other news, did you see who they hired for Lex Luthor in the new Superman film?
Oh, the James Gunn Superman movie?
Yeah, here, check it out. I got a clip.
What?
Yeah, 18 seconds in.
They got
We know who Lex is. And I don't like it at all.
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Wait, is this the trailer?
No, it's just a quick clip about the hire. And I want to know, what do you think about this Lex Luthor hire?
I love Superman Legacy.
Do you think this is the right guy to play Lex Luthor?
All right, so this is my initial reaction. I've never seen this.
Good, let's check
Break
it
it all
out.
down. We already know who most of the characters are going to be. He clarified some of the storylines too, and there have been a few surprise
Is it
characters
Nick
that
Holt?
I did not
Yep.
expect
Nicholas
that were going
Holt?
to be in the movie. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all
That's a
the videos.
disappointed
There's a
reaction.
bunch more that he'll be
Oh, look at-
revealing
he's
in
the
the
best.
next
Fillion's
couple
the
months
man.
as he
Just
starts to
seeing his
film the
face
movie.
makes
So
me
whatever
happy.
they wind up revealing, of course, I will do.
He really is the best.
Oh, Nathan Fillion's everything.
Fillion, yeah.
Hold on. Nicholas Holt?
Yeah, that's who. And imagine him bald at some point. I don't like it at all. I liked our Lex Luthor that we had in the Snyderverse. I was cool with him.
Hold on, read what D Live Wire said. Please.
I heard Joe Biden was playing Lex Luthor. That's great. Yeah, it's the futuristic version. Was it the Superman is evil universe? Lex?
Superman, listen. So it's not that we have kryptonite, which we do.
Yeah.
It's the most important thing, and I can't emphasize this enough. Never mind.
Yeah, let's move on from this. And then someone would usher him out of the room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Forget.
Oh, we have other things to get to, so we're done now.
Did you see that interview though, where he literally like says that he's like,
Yeah, I think he lost his
So-
train of thought.
yeah, for
and,
sure.
Yeah, they were like,
God,
let's
never
just
mind.
go.
Yeah.
Let's just get out
God,
of here.
never mind. It's like, what do you mean never mind? You just built this up. He's like,
Yeah.
and this may be an unpopular opinion, but the world needs to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, but the world needs to hear it.
Oh, man. If he's the one to stand up and do UFO disclosure, man, that could be a long
yeah.
speech, man.
And because you said a president should be the one doing the disclosure.
Right, it should
So what
be.
would that look like, Jared? Joe Biden doing UAP disclosure.
Yeah, I don't do a Joe Biden impression, but I'm just...
Just doing old man.
I'd be astonished. I don't watch enough interviews of him, man. You did a good one. I liked yours. Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
What would he say? What would he say?
What would you say? For years, the public has been. I don't know like his affects.
No, that's
or
fine.
anything,
Yeah.
For years, the public has asked us a simple question of the government, and that is to be transparent with the people, to tell us the truth and what we know about the great beyond.
Yeah.
And are we alone? And today, I can finally say, and a lot of people, a side tangent, think that they killed this. A lot of this bill was because they knew that he would next October be the president that would be able to stand up and give full disclosure, and
So
they
they're,
didn't
like,
want to give
trying
him
to
that win.
fucking, like-
100%. People inside the UFO community believe they didn't want him to get the win of being the president to
The
give
guy.
disclosure.
This
Yeah.
is, and will always be remembered
Exactly.
as the
It's the
guy
biggest-
who told us that
That's the biggest
the
revelation
government
in
is
history,
hiding
in
fucking-
human
oh my
history.
God.
Is that we are not alone.
we're,
Proof of it.
we're not alone in the universe.
Yep. We're not the
We-
top of the food chain.
Nope. And we have proof, and we have their vehicles,
Yep.
and we have possibly bodies.
Their technology's far beyond anything we can imagine.
Nope.
And
Yeah.
It's one of the it would be the biggest revelation of all time, and they didn't want that win to be his. So
What did that happen with? It was on a way lesser scale, but they kept pushing something back. I think it was so Obama couldn't get a W for something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Shoot, there's so much of that.
Was it Trump? Was it
It's so
Obama?
much of that. The things that should be getting done that aren't because the parties
Just for-
don't want
just
them to
for
have the
party
win.
line's sake, yeah.
It's so freaking annoying.
There was something. Oh, maybe it was something with Obamacare. I can't remember now, but it was
Yeah.
like. I guess you're right. There is a lot of examples.
There's
I can't
a
think
lot
of any
of
right
that
now, but
stuff.
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the idea of Biden being the one releasing the UAP information.
And imagine if, like, with a slideshow behind him of like
Yeah.
pictures, like real things.
Yeah.
And
And then
UFO
one-
with a guy holding a newspaper.
Yeah,
Next to
and
him.
then one he's in Cancun and shit, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure how that got him there." And
Oh,
that'd
man.
be great.
Well, yeah. We'll see now what happens, but yeah, that is the people that fought against it. It was mostly on the Republican side, and there are some journalists who believe that it was a way to stop him
So
from getting that full disclosure.
I believe two reasons for Republicans to do it. One is
the defense
that.
contractor donation side is another big side of it.
Well, yeah, that. Well, one
The
they don't
specific
want they don't want to give Joe the win because
Yeah.
he's on the opposite party, right? And the other is a lot of them are very conservative and very obviously and very religious.
Yeah. Well, in the House, it's a total bipartisan effort. It's 100%. You've got guys working together that will
From all
never
over
work
the
together on
country.
anything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, this is the only
this
thing
is-
that they'll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it came to the Senate bill and they behind closed doors, it was a couple Republican senators that represented and got money from big, military.
What interest groups?
Lockheed specifically.
Really?
There's even a joke a journalist was making in an interview where he said they were on the phone with Lockheed saying, "Can we put this in?" No, okay, so scratch that. Because they didn't give real reasons behind why these things needed to be removed. So they made the joke that they were on the phone with them and they were
that's
telling them
great,
what
yeah.
they could keep.
That's funny.
That's
yeah,
so
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So
yeah,
bad. I
they
hope
said
it's
we
not
can't.
that
Yeah,
bad.
sorry. So get rid of that. Yeah.
I hope it's not that
Yeah,
bad,
line
man.
number 12. No, okay, get rid of that.
But what do you
Yeah.
think about the Lex Luthor hire? Who would you
JB? There she is. What up?
Who would you rather they hire for that?
Oh yeah. Let's talk.
Yeah.
Pardon me. So the Superman they have is very good, dude. Cavill's everything. He
He
could've had him for
is Superman.
another
Like Iron
200
Man
years.
is Tony what's it?
Robert Downey.
Yeah, Robert Downey.
Harvey Keitel, yeah, is Iron Man.
Harvey
100%.
Keitel, yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
No, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, is Iron Man. Cavill was Superman. There
A
was
million %.
Oh, dude, they slayed it when they found that kid.
They really did.
Yeah.
Because have you seen the movie Immortal? Like his first like real big movie.
I don't think so. The
So-
first thing I saw him in, I think, was Superman.
Man of Steel, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's half the size. He's still in good shape, but he's
Yeah.
like ripped like Brad Pitt in Fight Club ripped.
Yeah.
Not like Gerard Butler in 300 ripped,
Right.
or even like Henry Cavill and fucking,
Yeah, it's-
or like Thor. You know.
What about Batman? Getting into shape?
Affleck, yeah.
Affleck, dude, when he's doing the workout,
We
before
literally
he fights
saw it.
Superman.
He's doing fucking. He's doing.
He's pull-ups with 100
What's
pound
that thing
weights on him.
with the burpees? It's the most
Yeah,
annoying
he's pulling
thing ever.
the tire, the huge.
But
like,
what's that? CrossFit. Oh, I hate CrossFit.
Yeah.
I did it with a buddy, and I remember I threw up once. We went so fucking hard after.
That's funny. Yeah. A lot of people do throw up on hard workouts.
The Given Life and Chase Mack back
There he
to
is.
back.
Yeah, look at this.
So what's our boy Chase said?
He says DC's problem is they don't hire well.
It's so
People don't
fucking
fall in love with
true.
the characters, the actors, the storylines, like
Not
they
like
do with
Marvel,
Marvel
dude.
movies. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Chris Evans and Cap.
Thor.
you're-
They found him. It just,
God bless him.
Yeah, come on. He became the Thor.
He
of
was the
Thors.
dad from fucking Star Trek.
Yeah, just some
And,
random.
Given Life, what's up, my brother? And then
Yeah. They made a lot of people famous. They did a lot of hires. Even Robert Downey was not an obvious hire at all. He was like
now,
out of the acting.
well,
business.
now it's so funny to say because now it's like there couldn't have been anyone else.
So
But
great.
he wasn't even on the table.
No, there's no way.
Favreau fought for that real hard.
Which is smart.
And yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
The
'cause he
dividends.
killed
How
it.
did that pay off?
because he loved because he really, who else needed it like he did, you know what I mean, to really get back to where he was before that fall in his career that he had, like, so no one else would put that time and love and his personality. You couldn't have Tony Stark be anybody else.
No.
Henry Cavill, just as good as Superman, dude. So this new kid, I'm not happy about whoever they are, because they're not Henry Cavill, and I know that'll probably change if he does a good job, but we always get disappointed when they do a recast. Spider-Man, great example. We loved our Spider-Man. I loved Andrew Garfield. Holy
Me
crap!
too.
Make a million Spider-Man movies with him.
And then who knew
Then
this
they
little
show
Tom
up
Holland
with Tom
motherfucker
Holland,
coming,
and he
who
kills
a
it.
gymnast who's like he's the closest thing to Spider-Man we have.
Yeah,
in
he's
real life.
really good. Yeah, he can actually do all the moves. And
It's
he's a dancer. And
crazy.
he can do parkour. And
It's crazy.
Uncharted, he killed it in Uncharted, dude. Because that's what it is. It's parkour and
What a good game.
acrobatics.
What good games those are.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, who I would have rather seen
For
it-
who?
for as in Uncharted is this motherfucker right
I know,
here.
right there. Yeah. If they would have done it in time, he's too old. No, yeah, they waited way too long.
But even him right here, dude, that's Nathan.
What about
fucking Drake.
the voice actor being in the Uncharted film? Do you remember that part?
Nolan North? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, where they
Yeah.
land on the beach. He's like, yeah, we fell out of a car that fell out of an airplane. He goes, something like that happened to me once.
Yeah,
In
of
the
course,
voice.
yeah.
And you're like, that's him.
Yeah. So Given Life said the new Flash should be black and it should be me.
He did? Yeah. That's genius. What's the Flash? It's like the...
Kid Flash.
Kid Flash. Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Or Wally West.
Yeah, Wally
It's
West,
The same,
that's the
they're
name,
the same
yeah.
thing. Yeah, his name is Kid
Did you
Flash.
see, what's his name? The Prowler in the new Spider-Verse film. What's his, Childish Gambino as the Prowler.
Yeah, well, he was in... Oh, wait, he's in the Across the Spider-Verse?
He's in Across the Spider-Verse, the second one, as the Prowler. The character from the MCU gets pulled into the Spider-Verse, and he's a prisoner.
He's like digital looking?
It's just him, and he has the suit on, no hat or no mask or anything, and he's sitting in a jail cell in the
Is it
Spider-Verse.
a quick Easter egg or it's like a
He
full...
walks by and he's looking at him, and he's because he's a real human being in a cartoon world, and he's looking at him like kind of like, well, and he's like, it's impolite to stare, man. And then,
That's so him.
Yeah, he doesn't
that's so
know that
Donald
that's
Glover.
his uncle in another universe. Yeah, but he plays his Prowler character
No
that we
way.
never got. Yeah, it's a cool Easter egg. I love Childish Gambino, dude.
Drop it like the NASDAQ. Move white girls like there's coke up my ass. He's the fucking greatest, dude.
Dude, he really
The
is.
best
good.
is
He's
that
so
line
good.
that we can agree is the greatest line is the bullshit. What does he say? When these dudes talking
bull me. I'm the shit.
I'm
When
the
these
shit.
dudes
Yeah,
they talking bull me.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's a great actor, rapper.
Yeah.
I love Community. Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
man. But Given Life should be the Flash. Can we agree? Especially after that fucking disaster that was the Flash
Perfect
movie.
cast, yeah.
Perfect casting.
Perfect casting. He might have been in the multiverse scene where they showed all the different
I think Given
versions.
Life was in one of them.
I think he was in there.
in like the green.
Yeah, he
colored
was there with
planet
what's
with
his
Christopher
name?
Reeves. Yeah,
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 that'd be genius.
that'd be the best.
Yeah,
you see
I was-
Given Life popping up.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
I was thinking of the other Superman.
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, right?
Fucking A,
Did you
man.
see him talk about that scene? He's like, and he's so
He was
mad about it.
because he wasn't involved.
He's
It was
angry.
all digital.
No, he was involved. That's why he's angry. He's like,
Oh,
so
what?
they
I
bring
heard
me
the
in
opposite.
and they tell me that I'm staring at a world falling apart, and I don't have any lines, so I have to just convey through my eyes, watching the world just crumble and fall to pieces. He goes, and then when I see this and we film this beautiful scene, he's like, and then when I see the film, I'm fighting a giant spider.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never fought a spider. I was watching the world be destroyed.
that's good.
Like, he was pissed.
So, dude,
He didn't like it.
two things. One, I want to talk to you about if Nic Cage is a genius or a crazy person. Okay.
Well, most geniuses are freaking insane.
Fine line. You're absolutely right.
Fine
But-
line. No, I think they really are. I think most geniuses
Well, that's what I mean by fine line, because I mean,
are nuts.
you're not on either side. You could, I think you
Yeah.
can hop over.
be tipped over at
At any time.
Yeah,
So
and kinda-
in the morning and then in the afternoon.
that's
and
true.
then in the
Yeah,
evening.
you can go back and forth for sure.
That's what I mean by fine line.
I believe that.
Do people mean like fine line, like,
Meaning you're up at the edge,
but you stay on the edge,
Right,
you never
right,
cross?
right. Yeah, it's a
or
fine line.
like
Like you-
something will happen.
a tight wire. You're walking the line between the two. That it could, you know what I mean?
But
you make it.
Is it saying that there's at some point you can?
It's just
hop
saying there's
over
a
there?
small difference
So
between
like
the two.
Andy
That's all
Warhol,
they're saying.
if he started doing drugs, he becomes a.
No, I think you could. I think you could espouse it that way. But I think
Extrapolate
what it's
from
meant to be is there is a small difference between the two. There is just this very subtle difference between someone who's extremely brilliant and someone who's lost their freaking mind. I think they're just trying to say the difference is so small that it's this fine line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're trying to say, and I think you can use it as walking that fine line, like this guy, as a genius, walks the line between genius and insanity.
walks the line?
That's different. But when you're just saying it's a fine line, you're just saying that
Yeah.
the two are separated very.
By a fine line.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I want to read the comments real quick,
yeah.
or read the comments, and then I want to talk about this Nic Cage thing.
Yeah.
Genius and then Spider.
Yeah. You read it. I should be, or give it like, he should be called the Black
Call it Black
Blur
Flash.
The Black Blur instead of the Black Flash. And he says, now that's, and then D. Lauer says, that's fast.
Yeah. Now that's
Black Blur.
fast.
So,
That's like the commercial for the fucking movie.
Yeah.
But
Now that's fast.
yeah.
That the Flash has to say it. Whoa.
Who was that? Yeah. The Flash says it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And-
genius or insanity. So first of all, do you know why he was fighting a spider in the end of that?
There's a backstory to that.
Dude, there's a whole huge backstory.
They didn't give it to Nic Cage. He was just
They
supposed to be
did
watching
though.
the world fall
He
apart.
did know. Maybe he didn't know what they were going to do with this movie. But so, have you ever seen the movie of The Death of Superman Lives?
I think so.
So it was a movie that was supposed to be produced.
Is that where all the different Supermans start showing up because the real Superman's dead and he's being healed?
No, this
okay.
is after Christopher Reeves, before the Brian.
You're talking about the Nic Cage movie that
Nick
they
Cage
didn't
movie,
make.
yeah.
Okay, I thought you
Yeah,
meant a
Superman
comic
Lives.
book. Okay.
The Death of Superman Lives. And no.
Yeah.
But so it was supposed to be directed by Tim Burton,
Right. I
starring
remember that. Yeah.
Nick Cage. And do you remember who wrote the screenplay?
No, somebody great though.
Kevin fucking Smith.
That's right. Yeah. It was. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So the producer,
It was a good combo.
who also produced a few movies, one Wild Wild West, fun flick.
Yeah.
He,
Action
he
stuff.
insisted on two things specifically that were insisted on. Must
Okay.
be in the film. If I'm putting up the money and I'm producing this fucking flick,
So frustrating.
this must be in it. One, he has to fight a giant spider.
That's so frustrating. Why would you let the creatives make the film?
Jared, this is the guy
You'll
from
make your
Wild
money
Wild
if they
West,
do their
mind
job.
you. Do you remember Wild Wild West, how that movie
giant
ended?
spider,
Yeah, dude. He's obsessed. The other thing is he doesn't.
So he's nuts.
Yeah. No, he no.
He
You wanna
has
hear how
like a
nuts
thing.
He is?
He probably has pet spiders and stuff.
Oh yeah, he like masturbates to spiders. The other thing is he said he doesn't want to see Superman fly.
No, that's
I
dumb.
swear to God,
no,
this is true.
That makes no sense.
So Kevin Smith's
So you
like,
get a different producer.
oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could have found it in that time period for a Nic Cage film of Superman. They could have found someone else to.
Oh,
produce
especially
it.
with Tim Burton and Kevin Smith
Yeah,
and
it's
Nick
a-
Cage
it's a
attached. You don't need
great
fucking
team.
whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's a hairdresser by day and a producer by night. Like he's also a hairdresser. This guy's the fucking
Okay.
greatest thing since
Yeah, it's
anything.
interesting.
He's the worst, but the best
Spiders.
worst. And then the other thing,
So that's why they put the spider in. That's a freaking.
so that's why, because it was sort of a joke,
Nic
but
Cage
also a
must be,
nod.
that's why he probably was so pissed about it. He's like, this again.
That's
like,
why it's funny.
They
That's
did
why
this
it's
to
funny.
me. Like,
But so check this out. So I text my father once upon a time, and I said, "Father," as I call him, answer this question.
Yeah.
And it was a GQ interview of Nic Cage breaking down all of his most iconic roles. I said, "Answer me this question: genius or insane?"
yeah.
And it was the Nic Cage, interview attached. What do you think his answer was? So I said, "Watch this first." Then, so what would your answer be?
Of Nic Cage, dude, from the stories I've heard of people that spend time with him,
Yeah.
that he is just the most brilliant, eccentric guy ever,
No.
and he seems like a lot of fun.
Like he's true genius,
Yeah.
and especially film genius. Like Tarantino and Scorsese, they'll be like, "Yeah, Scorsese. Oh, The Departed. That was cool that you used X's to a lot of X imagery to show when somebody was about to die."
Yeah.
So and then he'll say, "So for the picture, what I was thinking was, I remember in the movie Till Death, 1944, that we had to they had X's for every time somebody." And like he could just do that. Tarantino, the same shit. He'll be like, "Well, all right. So I remember, that there was a movie that Sergio Leone, what's his fucking name? Sergio, I can't say it.
Yeah.
Sergio Leone. What's his name?
I don't know.
The guy who did Fistful of Good, Bad, Ugly.
I haven't heard the conversation, so I don't know what he's trying to say.
But no, Sergio Leone. Jesus
Okay.
Christ, that's his name. The spaghetti western guy. But no, he's saying who am I talking about? What am I fucking saying?
You were saying something. I don't know. Yeah, you were making a point about whether or not you thought Nic Cage was genius or psycho.
Yeah, Sergio Leone. What the
crazy.
fuck was I talking about? Oh, because I was doing an impression of what's the name? Fucking Tarantino.
Okay.
Anyway, so that recall, fucking Nic Cage has that recall.
That's cool.
But dude, it's crazy. Like he's talking about Moonstruck, where he's with
Jim Carrey
Cher.
spent a lot of time with Nic Cage, and
Oh, that's
listen to
a
him
beautiful
talk about
fucking
it. Oh yeah,
hang,
listen to him
bro.
talk about him.
But
Yeah.
when he's doing, have you seen Moonstruck?
Nope.
Okay, so he lost his hand to this guy Johnny, right?
Okay.
He's like, "I lost my hand, I lost my brine." It's like this whole like epic scene, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, when he's talking about the role, he's like, "Well, I remember in Metropolis, which is like this great film from the like early,
Okay.
early
Yeah.
like 40s." He's like, I remember the doctor rips off his glove and reveals his mechanical hand. And so I wanted to evoke that.
That's
and so
great.
It was very theatrical.
Yeah, Nic Cage seems
And I'm like,
legit
what?
actor. Yeah.
And then he's like,
not a joke.
I remember I saw a Fellini short film.
Exactly.
where It's
yeah.
like,
that's what I imagine.
that's
that
what
exactly.
you drew from
Yeah.
for Face Off?
The things that he buys, Jim Carrey talks about, like stuff that he has in his house or things that he's bid on.
Oh,
and
the
bought,
dinosaurs
the
and the
craziest,
fucking-
wildest stuff. He just seems like a fun hang.
Have
and
you
he spends a lot of time here in Vegas at like a small
lives in Vegas.
corner bar. Yeah,
lives in Vegas.
He goes to that. I don't want to say it on
don't say it.
cam, but yeah, he spends a lot of time at like this hole in the wall
Give
bar.
me a hint. Because I want to know.
I'll tell you after the show.
Tell me the letters.
No, I'll tell you after the show
Tell me the fucking
because
letters.
I don't want to do that to him.
But doing
yeah,
that
he's
to the
there
audience
all
is
the
so
time.
fucking mean. I hate when podcasts do that.
No,
we'll
no,
talk
no,
after the
you
show.
can't-
Nobody wants to hear you talk after the show.
Yeah, no, it's not for the audience.
Okay,
that's
but-
why I'm not saying it.
Just tell me the first letter. P. It's a P.
Sure, we'll say P.
You're lying.
Yeah.
Damn you.
But
All right.
do you want to get to this last topic? Because I have to leave in a second.
In 1 second. Go!
So, did you know Jeff Bezos recently did an interview on Lex Friedman? Bezos is an interesting guy. He's controls so much.
One of the
money.
richest men alive? Is
He
interesting?
controls so much wealth.
Dude, you know he makes...
He can do anything.
I don't want to fuck up the numbers, but it doesn't matter when you get to
Yeah.
these groups of numbers.
Right.
But he makes like three, like, what is it, like $30 million every like 5 minutes or
Something
something?
like that. I bet
Insane,
it's
dude.
an absurd amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in the billions, it's such a sick amount of money.
Cat lovers laughing at something.
What do you
we
do?
did.
So there's a clip of him on the
something I
show where he talks about what he believes colonization of space is going to look like. Because he's one of the guys that wants to do this. He's putting money
Of course,
in-
all these rich fuckers do.
yeah,
because they
why?
can.
They're
'Cause they
afraid
can.
that they are going to have to leave the planet at some point.
Don't you want a contingency?
That's what
I'd fucking have
that's
one.
exactly why.
If I was a
They have
Bezos or a
lot of-
Musk.
yeah, exactly. They have the resources and they have a lot at stake, right? They have more at stake than the normal person does.
You know what's funny? I just saw a video of Bezos with DiCaprio. So Bezos was introducing his hot young wife or girlfriend to DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And DiCaprio's like even on a step, so he's like towering over them. Pardon me, and he's just so slick. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
like he's making Bezos uncomfortable. Like he's such a star power. He's such a bad
who wouldn't
motherfucker.
make DiCaprio would
DiCaprio's
make
king.
anybody
Yeah.
uncomfortable around their girlfriend.
Not me. I'd feel at home.
I'd be like, damn it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
run into the
I
Leo.
have nothing. Yeah,
it's so
yeah.
frustrating.
I'm done. Yeah.
It's like Howard Stern, when his friends and him go out, like they would always talk about like how frustrating it is him being there, because obviously all the women are flocking to Howard because he's the superstar power. So yeah,
Who's complaining about this?
any of his friends when they talk about how when he was single and
Howard.
he used to go out when Howard
Yeah,
used to go.
yeah.
So all his friends would just be in the background.
Well, because the women know
No one
he
cares
likes
about them.
beautiful women, and he doesn't.
and everyone
mess
knew
around,
Howard
he'll
Stern.
marry,
when
yeah.
he was single,
course, yeah.
he was at the height of his
Of his
popularity.
powers, yeah.
But
Thank
here,
you, D Livewire.
throw
you
this
rock,
clip
brother.
up of
Thank you.
Bezos. I think it's interesting what he thinks. Like I know, like Elon talks about colonization of Mars. Bezos has a very different view of what colonization is going to look
What's
like.
the TS on this?
938. Wait, yeah, that's the first one. Yeah.
Oh, there's multiplies.
Near Earth objects and from the asteroid belt and so on, and we'll build giant O'Neill style colonies, and people will live in those, and they have a lot of
Space
advantages
stations.
over planetary
He doesn't
surfaces.
believe that we'll actually
you can spin them
colonize
to
a planet.
get normal Earth gravity. You can put them where you want them.
For that
I think
reason.
most people are going to want to live near Earth, not necessarily in Earth orbit, but in Earth, but near Earth vicinity orbits, and so they can move relatively quickly back and forth between their station and
Right.
Earth.
So he doesn't
But
think
I think
we
a
want
lot
to
of people,
colonize
especially in
planets.
the early
that we're gonna
stages, are not
build
going to want to
space
give up
stations
Earth
out of
altogether.
materials from the
They go
asteroid
to Earth
belt.
for vacation.
Yeah, same way
and
that you.
be able to go back and forth from Earth to these space stations because you can do the
Well, that'd be
fake
ideal, right?
gravity
Yeah,
and
sure.
you don't have to worry about atmospheric conditions or issues of the actual specific planet that you're on or trying to colonize. And it could be close to Earth, and it can move around. You can put it where you want it. He doesn't think colonizing a planet makes as much sense as actually creating floating colonies in space.
Yeah.
And on 1120,
Is my wife laugh at you? I meant to say my wife. This would laugh at you. Oh, his wife would laugh at what we said. 'Cause
I would laugh.
she disagrees, or I don't know.
I
don't know.
But
You might go to
1120.
Yellowstone National Park for
yeah, they're
vacation.
saying how people will
and
vacation to
space.
Earth because
Yeah, how
system we
crazy.
have
Yeah,
here, all
they
of
would
the
live
life and the lush
permanently on these space stations.
the plant life and the water resources, everything. This planet is really extraordinary. And of course, we evolved on this planet, so of course it's perfect for us. But it's also perfect for all of the advanced life forms on this planet, all the animals and so on. And so this is a
Lex looks
gem.
so
We
weird.
do need to take care of it.
Look at
And
that look,
as
though,
we-
real quick. Look at this Lex look.
But it's also perfect for all
Yeah,
of the
even he'd be
advanced
a
life
better
forms on
Lex
this
Luthor.
planet, all the animals and so on.
Bezos.
What is Lex doing? Yeah. What is that?
That's like in his analytical. I'm paying attention, but I have a question. I'm waiting. to
100%, right?
So
Yeah, exactly.
This is a gem.
I'm waiting
we
for
do
you to
need to
stop
take
talking.
care
Shut
of
up
it.
so I could
And as
ask.
we
Yeah.
enter the Anthropocene, as we humans have gotten so sophisticated and large and impactful, as we stride across this planet, it's that is going to, as we continue, we want to use a lot of energy. We want to use a lot of energy per capita. We've gotten
Right.
amazing
So
things.
yeah,
we
you
don't
can
want
stop
to
it
go
there.
backwards.
So his view is obvious that to save this planet, we need to send some people off
Destroy
of
it first. Oh, yeah.
we got to
yeah.
get them off, and the only way to get a bunch of people off the planet comfortably in a place where they might enjoy themselves
Is Wall-E.
is giant space stations.
Is Wall-E, the movie Wall-E.
That's what he wants.
And we're all going to
yeah, right.
chairs. And,
Exactly. Yeah,
and it's going to be built by Amazon.
Yeah.
Dude, Amazon is, what's the name in the fucking, in Wall-E?
right. Yeah, that big
by and
company.
large.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wall-E is
That makes
Amazon's
sense,
fucking
yeah.
by and large, and it really is though.
That
They
makes
make
sense.
our batteries just like Buzz's batteries. They make batteries. They make everything, dude. Guys, Amazon's by and large.
Yeah, this is he's a Jay says Bezos is a creep, and
Facts.
he's like comparing him to Darth Vader. He sounds like Darth Vader right now. That's funny. Yeah, a giant space station. We're going to build. Yeah.
Little fool, you are wrong.
Anyway. Oh, good times. Good times.
This
Good times.
technological terror you've constructed. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the chat. Thank you for being a part of the show. I love the live audience that joins the chat. Thank you so much. Love all you guys giving live. D Livewire, Cat Lover, JB, Chase, obviously. Always good to have you, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show last week. That was a lot of fun. A lot of people like
only
your
you were in
drink
town
theory.
again.
Check out that video if you haven't seen it. It's up on our channel. We're on all the platforms. Like and subscribe. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Instagram. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you for a full podcast episode on Tuesday.
Yeah, we sure will. Guys, like what he said, we love you, we appreciate you, and we will see you Tuesday for TPTNS. You guys rock. See you Tuesday. Everybody in the chat, like Jared said, are the bee's knees. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great evening, and we will see you on that flippity floppity.
Yes, sir.
Laters.